To class, none of the campuses will have an officer despite a months-long effort to roll out a pilot program at Garfield High School. Instead, in 1 week, the community will have one more chance to weigh in.
KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon talked to students and the parents about their growing frustrations about this, and she asked the superintendent if he's still behind this effort.
Kids will not stop getting shot and killed at Garfield because of counselors alone.
Parents and students have already fought to get cops out of schools once before.
Garfield needs urgent action.
The possibility of police back inside Seattle schools prompted strong words for the school board.
And I see the introduction of SEOs as oppression of Black people at Garfield.
We don't want cops at all.
Leo Fallet-Bayamonte is the president of the Seattle Student Union, and they have a lot of questions.
Where would this money be coming from to hire this cop? How will we make sure that cops do not play a part in discipline? If it's at Garfield, what stops it from going to other schools?
The student union's fight began this spring.
Yes, so after we saw on KIRO News that Police Chief Barnes intended to bring cops back into school, that was a shock for many organizers in the Seattle area.
That's when KIRO 7 sat down exclusively with the deputy mayor and Seattle police chief.
When I talk to people, they want us to return to the schools in some capacity.
SPS's executive director of safety and security told me that a memorandum of understanding to lift the district's current moratorium on police in schools was ready for the school board to consider. That was back in May.
We believe that it is enough time, at least for Garfield, to have somebody in place by the start of the school year.
So why is it September and no decision?
Why are we continuing to spin our wheels?
Garfield PTSA board member Alicia Spanswick has been waiting for an officer since last year.
Right.
Her daughter is a senior this fall.
We can't be lulled into thinking that, oh, crisis is over and we can just go back to whatever we were doing before. Because I do think that it will spill back onto campus.
Some people might look at this and say, why is it taking so long?
So we did bring it to the board in June, introduced it.
Interim Superintendent Fred Podesta says the board wanted more community engagement then, and they still do now. A session was held at Garfield in July. Another is set for September 9th.
Who picks the officer? Well, that happens jointly between SPS and SPD.
And while the district's accountability officer, Ted Howard, tried to assure board members about the role of an officer,
Are they directly involved in discipline? They're not. Not at all.
Some appear unconvinced about lifting the moratorium and leaning toward an exception for Garfield alone. Would that mean then that the moratorium would stay in place and there would be a narrow agreement just for Garfield?
I think there'll be a space in that moratorium to allow for a pilot at Garfield, and I expect that the board will then want us to explain, well, how did that work out before we consider other campuses?
That was